AfterBuzzers, you are tuning in to the AfterBuzz TV After Show special events coverage for the ESPY Awards. Tonight, we're going to be talking all things sports and fashion. Make sure you stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the after show of the century.
Of the century?
We're gonna hype it up starting now. I'm your host. My name is Dani. Co-host.
I'm Jay Lamar. You guys, welcome.
What's up? It's your man Tyler Tyson.
Hey everyone, I'm Pacheco.
And we are breaking down everything from last night's ESPY Awards, 2018 ESPYs. Let's just say there was not a dry eye in the audience last night.
Or at home watching.
Or at home watching. And, a lot of these athletes, pride themselves on being real tough and real strong out there, but they were all just waterworks, as well as I was. Fashion was daring. We had, some funny moments. We had some cries. We had it all. So we are here to break it all down with you, for you. Please make sure to comment your thoughts below as we go. We will be checking the live feed if you have any insight. But let's start off with fashion, because that's how the show starts off. They walk that red carpet, and
my favorite part.
My favorite part the ESPYs, people take risks. I wasn't sure, in the past you see a mix, but we're used to at the VMAs people really take risks. This year at the ESPYs I saw some serious fashion risks, which I was here for it.
Oh yeah.
I was definitely here for it. If we're gonna talk about fashion risks, we have to start off with Adam Rippon, the Olympic bronze medalist from the figure skating.
Yes.
Love.
Serving in
Yes.
a white top with matching bedazzled jacket, black pants and shoes, and an assortment of jewelry. I'm pretty sure it was his own. What did you guys think of this look?
I want that jacket, period.
Yes, same.
Period. That'll fit me.
Yeah.
Just right.
It'll fit me also. I love it.
No, you're too big.
No. There's no such thing as too big. I love it.
I think we can get like a sisterhood of the traveling jacket. Right. No one can wear it.
And the pose. I
Yes.
love his pose.
Yeah.
He's owning it.
Yeah.
He was. And
He looks
even
great.
in Danica Patrick's opening, she was saying, and Adam Rippon from Instagram, and then he was just like so extra, just like serving looks left and right. So I was here for it, here for him always. He looked amazing. This was like his first big award show, or ESPYs, I suppose, because he did go to the Oscars, I think. But first big, sports-related event for him since being a huge star. Because, now he's been on Dancing with the Stars. He's won an Olympic gold, or not a gold, but a bronze medal. Regardless, it's like was kind of his moment.
Yeah.
He's working on his modeling contract.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
He is.
Oh, he's lit. He's
Yeah,
already
he's
lit.
ready. I'm telling you.
Another Olympian from this year's Winter Olympics, Chloe Kim, was there, and she was adorable. She's 17 years old, y'all, and she is a gold medalist for snowboarding.
Wow.
She is gorgeous.
Yeah,
this
that's
was
good.
like
Amazing.
I was thinking about what I looked like when I was that age, like going to prom, and I sure did not look like that.
There is nothing like classic black on
Yes.
the red carpet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And that's very much so age appropriate too.
I agree. And
Looks great.
gorgeous. So it's Cassidy and David Yurman Jules. And I just think she looks gorgeous. Timeless look, like you said. Age appropriate for someone, who's a teenager still, but
It's easy. She's
Who's
not
so-
doing too
Yeah.
much.
Effortless.
Exactly.
So I wonder if David Yurman allowed her to take those jewels home,
I
or
don't
did she
know.
have like security following her?
Maybe you get a rental. Sometimes
Come
I
on,
get a
rental.
Come on, Renzo.
Yeah. And then another couple that was the big talk of the night, Danica Patrick and Aaron Rodgers kind of had their debut moment together. So cute, but still a little torn
I'm
up.
not into that. Are you guys
As a
into
couple?
that outfit? No, the outfit, her dress.
As the
with the
host,
shoes.
Can we get a zoom?
yeah, I mean, as the host, all eyes were kind of on her.
Ooh.
I love them as a couple. I
Yes.
love them individually.
Yeah.
I hate her dress.
I
hate her. I hate her
Yes,
look.
thank
That
you.
look to me is just not.
I don't know.
She's pretty, though.
I
She's
actually like
gorgeous.
the look.
I didn't hate it.
I just hate when they have like the tan line showing.
Yeah.
Like
That's
there's
true.
bronzer for
into
that. Yeah.
So as we're talking about things being like age appropriate, like I think Chloe's was so age appropriate for her. Danica's 36 and she has a killer bod, but like
She does.
She does.
because
yeah.
I just felt a little like too young. Like it felt like I could.
And
I
the
don't
shoe
know.
and the dress combo does not
Yeah.
go well. And the dress had huge, those are metal, almost like buttons.
Studs. Maybe?
Yeah.
I think it was very
don't know.
risque.
I
Her,
do
her
too.
legs look phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, her body is banging, but
The thing I was saying, like you said, it is a younger looking look, but to me, it makes her look old. Like,
Interesting.
It
Right.
Yeah.
ages her,
It
and
ages
she
her,
doesn't
she-
look like she looks older there than she ever has.
I like
Yeah.
the hair. Maybe
Maybe
if the
it's
hair
the
would be
hair, maybe.
different. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, she wore a bunch of different looks throughout the night because she was the host, and I think on the carpet, all eyes were on her, and I was kind of expecting like a gown, like something longer. This kind of felt like
a pop color.
This almost felt like she was going like clubbing or something.
Yeah,
you know,
that is
What
like
she hosted in was beautiful.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it
agree.
was.
Pink.
Pink, yeah.
Right.
Now
like,
all I can see is the tan line.
Right.
Zoom in, it's
That's
lasered
all I
on.
seen. I was like, wow.
I almost wish she would have worn the pink dress that she wore to host
color.
the sequence
Carpet.
on the carpet, because the carpet is, all a black backdrop, the step and repeat. I think it would have been nice to kind of stand out a little more, but, I think that they're a gorgeous couple. This was a big moment for them as kind of their debut. He was with Olivia Munn, and there was all that controversy, and so it's interesting now to see him with another athlete. She's a race car driver, athlete, and she also hosted. We'll get into kind of everything that she did for the night, but another couple that I think kind of won the couples award for the evening.
It better be my favorite couple. It better be.
Sierra and Rachel.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just as gorgeous as it gets, and she wore this bright yellow, which this is the kind of stuff I want to
Gorgeous.
see on a
That
red
pop
carpet.
of color
Yes,
makes
yes.
the
Well,
difference.
Cece's been doing this for a while. This
has.
ain't nothing. She ain't new to this. She's
Yeah.
true to this.
Right.
She got this.
And
She
the
looks great.
lining of the inside of the dress was white, which I loved. I think
Yeah.
there's another shot of her in that dress, and you can see the white on the inside.
It looks.
It's
They both.
beautiful.
I'm sorry, Russell. We forgot about you.
But Russell looks, that's
I
dope.
love
That's
that.
Oh, that
dope.
looks
Yeah.
great.
That's dope.
But Russell looked great as well.
I
looked
love.
great.
It's like he plays his part. Like he's not
Yes,
doing too much
he
with his
does.
look, but he's doing just enough.
I
It's
agree.
perfect.
Exactly.
Oh, look at them.
It's perfect.
They look good.
Yeah,
great.
I think that he does a really great job at complimenting her. Like,
Yes.
even though
Totally.
he's the athlete, he knew she was the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
I just think that, together as a
Head to
couple, they're
toe.
gorgeous. They're,
Right.
New parents, and also her bod.
That
like, are
body
you
is
kidding me?
snatched.
It's stupid.
Yeah, and she just had a
Snatched.
kid
Not fair.
pretty recently.
She just had 2 kids.
Yeah, I mean, good for her.
Yeah, I
And
think
them.
she looks great.
And yeah, so I think both of them, I will say, kind of played it safe.
Not the way
Yeah.
soon.
But yeah, I got that way too. I think they both played it safe, but it really worked for them. And I appreciate when a look like this is a hit. Sometimes when people play it safe, it's almost too safe. I feel like both of them did what they both do best, and it was just like hitting the nail on the
Well,
head.
who wouldn't want their parents to look like this, y'all?
I
Like,
agree.
oh my God.
Lord knows mine don't.
My mama looked like Sierra. So.
Someone who I think didn't necessarily take a risk, didn't play it safe, but rather took a very intense risk is Odell Beckham Jr. He was in, this printed black and white short suit that showed off, his fashion flair, if you will. What did we think of this?
I ain't got nothing bad to say.
You don't?
Nope.
I need to ask the men. Is the short suit something that you would be interested in, or?
Do you want me to stand up?
Oh wait, you're
Don't-
right.
I'm so sorry.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Yes, she's
I was just asking if you would like it. So you,
I do.
like
You know
it?
what? You have like leather as well. Like I think it's the
The
The match.
matching
Yeah.
You know who started the short suit in recent history was Pharrell. He like brought it back. I think he
Yeah.
wore it to the Academy Awards a couple years ago, and that was like the talk of the town. Obviously, short suits have been around for a while, but he kind of like brought it back to the mainstream.
And then when LeBron wore it this year,
Yeah, to
everybody
the-
was like, oh my gosh.
to the
And
NBA finals, yeah. So. I think this was definitely daring, and I will say athletes don't get a lot of opportunities to step out on red carpets. They kind of have this, they have like kids' choice sports, like they don't have a ton. Some of them that cross over into the acting and music worlds do get a little bit more opportunities, or if you're dating someone in that world, but Odell hasn't stepped out on a ton of red carpet, so this is a cool opportunity for him to take a risk. We're used to seeing him in a football jersey, so it's cool.
But when you do see him, he's always doing
Fitted.
something
Extra.
That's
Extra.
the perfect word, because I was going to say something else. That's the perfect word. He's always doing something
I love this. I don't care if it looks like some drapes in your grandmother's house. I love
his hair.
it.
I've always been a fan of his
Danica
hair.
Patrick, gave him some flack for his hair during her opening. She was kind of like,
yeah.
he's back, but he's still on the questionable hair list.
I
Like,
love it. I love it. I've always loved
he
it.
just kind of like brushed it off. He was like, whatever. Like, he didn't care.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
He never cares.
He looks like a rapper. Like he should be a part of the Migos.
That's true. He would fit right in. Maybe with that whole look, I feel like they dress like that too.
I would love to go in his closet.
I'm sure it's full of wild things. I wonder if this is his or if someone styled him, because I feel like he would own this.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Some of these outfits you see people wearing, you're like, oh, that's for sure
Oh, yeah,
somebody
that's definitely
dressed
in his
them. But like
closet.
that feels like it's
Yeah.
his. Another athlete that was kind of the talk of the night and has kind of been the talk of the year is Allie Raceman. She wore like a really gorgeous white cowl neck gown with silver accents. She is just like the vision of class this year, and like everything that she's gone through, the medals that she's won. I like the white. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I think she looks gorgeous.
No, I do think she looks beautiful.
I've seen her wear things that I like more, but this again was kind of safe.
I was you took the words out of my mouth. This is very safe. It was just very subtle and safe.
Yeah.
Very bridesmaid.
Oh yeah. Well, you can't wear white to a wedding.
Well, no, nowadays have like
That's
Right.
they come harder than the brides.
It's their moment.
Right.
It's the bridesmaids are showing. They're the ones that need to find a man.
Exactly. You got yours already.
You got yours. My turn.
I'm gonna wear white if I look good in it. Yeah, no, Allie is, I think she went with a more subdued look this year because she was here not about the look, she was here for her message she wanted to get across.
Yeah.
Because like last year, she actually was with Colton Underwood, I believe last year, who's on The Bachelorette this season. Yeah, that's her ex-boyfriend. They did it for like 2 years.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
You are blowing my mind right now.
His loss.
Breaking news, yeah, his loss.
Breaking
Honestly,
news.
breaking news. That's year old, but either way, she went with him. She was wearing like a short skirt. It was like more daring, and I've seen her wear things in the past where she was wearing like a leotard with a long tulle see-through skirt. So this, for me, felt like I'm a mature woman who's here to convey a message that's important that everyone needs to hear. It's not about what my dress looks like. It's about who I am as a person, and I think that's sort of what she was going for with her look.
That's a very good point. Because even though that was a huge moment in the night, I completely forgot that that's what she did, and that dress is perfect for that.
Yeah, it kind of felt like it was classy. That's what I mean. She was like the vision of class of the evening. I feel like all eyes were going to be on her to be a role model for young women, and so she couldn't have worn like, you know, some nudie skirt. She wanted to be a role model, as she is an amazing role model for so many young athletes and just women and men in general, to be honest.
This is an excellent PR moment.
Yeah, it was. And that's why I think she wanted her message to like outshine her look.
Yes.
I don't think it was really about what she was wearing. So I respected her outfit choice in the sense that it was just like a pure white, clean look that like no one was going to say anything bad about it, but no one was really going to say anything good either.
Are those white nails?
Yeah, she's rocking it. I'm here for a summary, you know. Summary. So let's get into some of these, some of the highlights from last night's show. Danica Patrick made history as the first ever female host.
Yes.
And
Congratulations.
Which is crazy that like she was the first female. Like how? They've had Drake host and he's not even an athlete.
Exactly.
Right.
So that was a little surprising, but she's a NASCAR driver. She's, you know, very decorated in her field. There was mixed reviews on how she was as a host. Some people said she was a little awkward. I mean, I think what it's so interesting is so many of these athletes aren't used to being
in front of the camera like that.
They're used to being like interviewed after games and stuff, but they're not used to carrying the show.
Right.
And so I think it was like a big moment for her, and I think she did as good of a job as she could have given this scenario.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
Like the VMAs last year. I'm not going to call anybody out, but the
Yeah.
VMAs last year was by far the worst.
Yeah.
I thought she did a great job.
She did.
I'm not
think she
expecting to
was
see
just, like-
Oprah hosting. You know what I'm saying? Like their skill set is not that. They're skilled in other areas.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
I think she was a bit stiff.
I would agree.
Her
Okay.
movement is very like, even the way she talked, she didn't seem nervous. She seemed very cool and chill. But I think just her own personality, she's like more of a stiff kind of a woman.
I got you. Yeah.
The way she talks is, she doesn't have very much personality when she talks. It's all kind of the same.
I wonder how many other women turn this down. Like
I
turn
don't
down
know,
the hosting
because it
job
is a
down.
hard audience. It is a challenging audience, and one of the moments that people were calling awkward was when she called out LeBron and like kind of about like the LA transplant and then his hair transplants.
That was
and,
hilarious.
yeah, it was funny, and I will say the J.R. Smith joke that she threw in after that, I was like, she went there.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, girl. Like that was funny.
I was not laughing at her LeBron joke. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. I'm a Cavs fan. I'm still distraught.
We got him now. We got him now.
Yeah, for temporarily.
What, 3 years?
For years.
You're
yeah.
repping your Laker purple and yellow. We got some Laker colors here.
Hey,
Let me take it off.
I'm prepping Lakers all day.
He's following you.
He following me.
He's following you. But yeah, so some people thought that maybe was a little awkward, but people did like, you know, the show was at moments very heavy, but Danica did a good job, in my opinion, at keeping it light. You know, when she kind of, her and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar channeled their favorite Game of Thrones characters, and she came out dressed as Khaleesi. Like, you know, with the sports community, it occasionally is hard to like bring it back to pop culture, but there were so many actors and like musicians, and the audience was everyone. So it was kind of fun to see. Yeah, we'll show a little clip of her here dressed as Khaleesi. It was fun and funny and like broke up some of the really heavy topics because I think ever since Caitlyn Jenner spoke and won that Arthur Ashe Courage Award, the Espys tone has really changed. It's become a lot more serious, a lot more, you know, about pertinent topics and people that are going through tough times. And so I think that it's nice to have someone as a host who's like fun and playful, and like she's just adorable and everyone loves her. So
well, and side note,
yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner was there with her supposed
New
rumored
girlfriend. 21-year-old Sophia Hutchins.
Yeah.
Oh, come on,
So
come through.
yes, Caitlyn, getting herself a younger woman.
Wait, is she a cougar?
I guess
I
so.
guess, yeah.
A little cougar?
I mean,
I mean, there's like a
yes.
there's like a 40-year age, 50-year age difference there. I don't.
She's younger than Kylie.
Yes.
So maybe that's not a
She's
cougar.
about Kylie's age. She's about Kylie's age, which
More like
is
a
a little
panther.
wild.
The Panther, yeah.
I mean, she's actually older than Kylie.
She is older than Kylie. I
like
think about
no,
like
younger than Kendall.
younger than Kendall, older
Oh,
than
then
Kylie.
Kylie. Yeah, well,
I mean-
Kylie's 20.
Yeah.
Oh, so then she's
she's
good.
21. She's 21, Sophia, and I hope
That's too young.
I hope that Sophia's
I
not
agree.
just there to be thirsty and milk off Caitlyn, because
Right.
Caitlyn's gone through a lot, and I would not.
do you
want-
think?
I think she is.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
of
real in the
course.
streets.
It's-
Listen.
I don't know.
I mean,
At
Caitlyn
20
Jenner winked
Okay,
at me. I
could
might
be
wink
totally
back.
wrong, but I read an article today where I think that Sophia is also a transgender.
Oh,
Woman. Oh, I didn't know
Because
that.
it said the
really?
article said her name was Scott at the time.
oh, okay.
So I think that she's also transgender.
Interesting.
I could be totally wrong, so
Didn't know
don't
that.
take my word for it.
She's
but
a model.
I read that
am
in
not
an article.
sure that I will do some research as we continue to talk about other things.
Wow.
Yeah, I did not know. I'm reading a quick e-news article giving me some hot information. Anyway, they have a dog together.
Yes.
Caitlyn inspired her to transition. So yes,
Yes.
you are correct. I guess she made it more
So maybe
real
they
for him.
like bonded
There's
on
an
that,
some
even
people
though
are
the
saying
age
that
difference.
some people are saying that they're also just good friends. Like it could be that Caitlyn's a role model for her, and who knows? Either way, I support them, and
Yeah, but I can't see Caitlyn dating somebody that young. So maybe it
Nor
is like
can I.
a
Right.
role model situation.
maybe.
But they
either
share
way,
a dog.
Either way, they came together. So they showed up together, so be it. Speaking about Caitlyn and the Arthur Ashe Courage Award, that was the talk of last night. I mean, we really can't even go any further into the show without talking about Allie Raceman and the other 141
Wow.
female survivors that were up there that are victims of Larry Nassar. This is a photo of all of them up there. I mean, it is just like strong, powerful woman after the next on that stage. It's the U.S. gymnastics scandal that involved that terrible, disgusting doctor. And this is a photo that we have of the women that were survivors. They endured this hell, honestly, from the guy that was their doctor that was sexually assaulting all of them. I watched the full trial of this as it was live. I watched Allie, I watched Jordan Weber, I watched all of them speak during his trial, and they literally looked this man in the eye and were like, you did this to us. And they were like 12, 13 younger girls, and they were all being assaulted. So I like that they didn't just give it to Allie, because I think that it would have been easy to give it to Allie because she's been the most outspoken throughout this whole movement. I like that they gave it to everyone.
Everybody.
Yep.
Because it really is not just an award for one person. This is a courage award for all these women that are survivors of this terrible thing
Well,
that happened
all
to
of them had a
them.
voice.
And
They
it's
did.
strength in
They-
numbers.
yeah.
It
They
is,
all
and,
spoke out.
and I think the whole message behind it is that like you're not alone,
Yes.
and that if they gave it to one woman, that would have singled her out and made her up there alone. When
Yes.
it's not about that, it's like a sisterhood of these women. And in Allie's speech, which we can pull up maybe a clip of it, in Allie's speech, she talks about how everybody who's standing on the stage before you and everyone who's at home watching, you are not alone. Like this is happens every day, and like we need adults and we need people that are responsible or yourselves to be able to speak up. So let's see if we can get a little bit of this rolling.
Predators thrive in silence. It is all too common for people to choose to not get involved. Whether you act or do nothing, you are shaping the world that we live in, impacting others. All we needed was one adult to have the integrity to stand between us and Larry Nassar. If just one adult had listened, believed, and acted, the people standing before you on this stage would have never met him. Too often, abusers and enablers perpetuate suffering by making survivors feel that their truth doesn't matter. To all the survivors out there, don't let anyone rewrite your story. Your truth does matter, you matter, and you are not alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was from
Wow.
Allie, and like I said, she's been really outspoken on the matter. So sorry.
Wow.
That comes on.
Brittany.
That was That was a mood changer.
Right.
I was like, wow, okay.
Okay, anyway, that's what got a lot of the people in the audience just like waterworks. I think everyone was really feeling it in there with them. These poor girls endured this disgusting man who's now behind bars, thank goodness, so he can't do it anymore. But
what I love about that moment is, I just said there's strength in numbers. It's one thing to hear, oh, it was 141 women or something like that, but to see it, that creates a bigger impact. Because when you just hear a number, it's just another fact that comes in and goes out. But when you see it, I'm a visual person, so to have that visual, it's like, oh, wow.
Right.
Okay.
And they were really driving home the point that adults were being told what was happening and they were hiding it.
I think that's the part that shocked me the most.
I mean, she
that
was
got me.
listing years that people had gone forward and told adults and no one did anything. And I think that has happened so many times in different cases, like the one at Penn State, where adults adults were being told there and they didn't do anything about it. And I love that they were really driving that home. Like, these adults need to stand up and not be afraid and stop trying to defend. Like, they were saying it's more important to defend an adult's integrity than to go forward and get that guy in trouble because they're afraid of what might happen.
Well,
it's just disgusting.
What's so interesting is there was 141 of them on the stage, but Larry Nassar has been accused of molesting over 250 young women and at least one young man that are known of. He admitted to 10 when he was on trial. And so, I mean, we saw 141, but there's over 100 more where that came from. And it is vile and disgusting. And I think it's important that their voices were heard last night. And I think it's important because where there's one, there's others.
Absolutely.
And hopefully someone who's watching that will maybe listen to their kid or the kid will feel more comfortable to speak up or someone or even adults. Adults endure this stuff every day. And so I think it's important for everyone to kind of be asserted. And while sports are so positive in so many ways, there is a lot of negative stuff, even that happens amongst teammates and locker rooms and whatnot, that's important to feel comfortable to come forward. And I think that's sort of what those gymnasts were trying to get that message.
And they control their own narrative. It's even if you don't listen to me, I still have a voice. I'm still going to say what's on my mind, and I'm still going to point this out because it's not going away.
It was the most powerful moment of the night for me.
Yeah, it's actually been one of the most powerful moments for me in this entire award season. We've talked a lot about the Me Too movement, the Time's Up, all that stuff. That felt like the most powerful to me because you got that visual. You got to see it. You hear all these actors and actresses, wearing all black or standing up to talk about it. And all those things that they did were important and did make a difference. But there was something about this moment that felt different to me. It was these women, we know exactly what they went through. And they are here to reclaim their, reclaim who they are and have an award for courage. It's something when someone wins an award for Best Actress and gives a speech about this. This award wasn't for that. This award was for courage specifically.
Right. Exactly.
And I think that's why it was such an important moment and important part of the movement.
Well, it was a great message of telling people to speak up, but not only to speak up, but also telling others to listen when someone is speaking up, because that's what the problem was in a lot of those cases, was that they were speaking up, but people weren't listening.
I agree. Before we get on to, we'll talk about the next award in just a minute. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jimmy v. ESPY Award for Perseverance. But before we do that, we have to kind of just, talk to all of you guys.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hey, AfterBuzzers. So our network produces after shows for literally all of your favorite TV shows.
All of them.
From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and so much more. There's no network that works harder to put on your favorite after shows to serve TV's biggest fans, but we need your help. We're asking you that you please subscribe to one or more of our channels, which literally is so easy. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that will continue to tailor what's interesting to you, made more for you, and help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And subscribing doesn't cost you anything.
It's
click.
free.
If you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't worry, they're optional. You can turn them off. So hit that subscribe button right now for this channel and check out our other AfterBuzz YouTube channels. There are tons. There's one for reality TV, competitions, there's dramas, it's you name it, we've got it for you. Let us know you did in the comments, and we'll thank you on air because that is so fun to have your name read. But now, thanks for being the best fans and helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes.
Speaking of ESPN, what do you know? Let's talk about the ESPYs. So last night's Jimmy v. ESPY Award for Perseverance went to the Bills' great and Hall of Fame quarterback Jim Kelly,
Yes.
who was honored amid his continued battle with cancer. He was diagnosed with squamous cell carcinoma in 2013. He had undergone multiple treatments and surgery since then. He was declared cancer-free in 2014, but found out, unfortunately, in March that he was diagnosed again. And he spoke to those attendants at the Microsoft Theater here in LA and emphasized that he's going to continue to live his life to the fullest. And this was just another one of those, like, such a beautiful message in everything that was going on in the world. It's just like, it puts things in perspective, you know? It's like, you wake up in the morning and little things that seem like they're really important in a moment and that are such a bother are so insignificant in the big scheme of things, and someone like him really makes you see that.
That was another one of those emotional moments when he was thanking everyone, and then he got to his wife and he was like, "You are my soul." I was sitting there like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, I need that. I want that type of love in my life.
That's that real love.
Right.
Yeah. It was such a sweet speech, and the video, I mean, if you weren't crying by then, that you don't have a soul. So I mean, it was
Come on, no soul.
This reminds me a little of Stuart Scott, the ESPN anchor. He had a rare form of cancer that he spoke at the Espys a few years back, and unfortunately he did pass away. But this kind of reminded me of that. It was just like instilling hope in people, and so many people, like I said, wake up every day and have a million things to complain about, but they're perfectly healthy, and like you're nothing without your health. And so living your life to the fullest is such a important message, and like, why not just be positive, you know?
Right.
Like, there's so much to be negative about, but when you can just be positive and see a guy like this who's gone through so much, being happy every day.
Still positive. His family's positive. He talked about one of his daughters, I think it was his youngest daughter, who he said every time she came in, she was always upbeat and happy and never like, she's like, "Oh, Dad, you look so great." Like, he was... Yeah.
And that's really healing. It truly is. Like, it's all, you know, there's a lot of physical aspects of it, but it's a lot of mental too, you know? It's like being positive and just being like, these are the cards I was given, and I'm going to make the best of my situation. And this guy, like, I mean, so many props to him, and very deserving of that award. Glad to see people like that highlighted. And, you know, so many people go through all this pain but don't get recognition.
Right.
And so it's nice for people like that to be recognized. The ceremony also highlighted the courage of the 3 best coach winners, which were killed in February's shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Those 3 men are Aaron Feist, Scott Beagle, and Chris Hickson, which, I mean... The football coach, Elliot Bonner, said it's not a political issue. It's a human issue. Lives are lost that didn't have to be.
Right.
And this is just such a continued conversation. I knew it was going to come up last night. I hope it continues to come up until there's some actual change made. Because until, you know, something changes, this unfortunately will likely keep happening. And so it's those coaches deserve to be honored for protecting their students.
Absolutely.
This school shooting's been going on too long.
Yes.
It's been going on for as long as we've been alive.
Yeah.
You know, and it's heartbreaking every single time. I think so much about Childish Gambino's music video, This Is America, because we just move on. And like, it's so important to move on and live your life and be positive, but also don't forget what just happened.
Yeah,
and like,
absolutely.
this was important to address in the format that it was addressed. I think it was really appropriate. It wasn't like too political or anything. This isn't, like he said, it's not a political issue, it's a human issue. These are human lives. These are coaches, their fathers, their sons, their brothers, these are humans. They're not just a number.
Right.
So I was glad that they, you know, addressed that in a tasteful way. Let's talk about some of the big awards. Moving on from a lot of the heavy stuff. Like I said, there was a lot of heavy, but what I think Danica Patrick did a great job is keeping it light, keeping it moving. We did have awards to give out, which are exciting.
Oh, yes.
So best athlete, best male athlete, we'll do best male athlete, best female athlete. We talk a lot about whether or not they should have gender on these. I think for sports it is appropriate because they compete differently. But like, I know the MTV Movie and TV Awards now just do best actor or best performance rather than actor and actress. So, but for best male athlete, we have Alexander Ovechkin, whose last name I'm going to struggle with, on the Washington Capitals. They won, so duh. We feel good about that one. I feel good about that one.
I'm not mad at it. It's just it's so hard. I feel like it's so hard to narrow down a best athlete across like all genres.
They play all different sports.
Yeah, it's like, how am I gonna compare hockey to football and to basketball to tennis? Like,
Totally.
So, but at least they gave it to a champ.
I'm just glad Tom Brady didn't win.
The face though.
That's my little
I feel like
face.
Tom Brady's won before.
He's one of
He's
them.
won
he
enough.
has like
He's
a
fine.
rings for every
More than
finger.
enough.
He's fine.
Best female athlete went to Chloe Kim, who we talked about earlier, snowboarder. She's I think 17 or maybe
Yeah,
18
good job,
now.
good job.
Yeah.
Well deserving.
Well-deserving.
18 years old, 17, whatever she is. Won a gold medal in this year's Olympics. Like
This is her year.
badass, to be honest. So
Absolutely.
well deserving. Best Olympic moment though went to Shaun White, another snowboarder.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Which was, I wasn't sure. I thought U.S. men's curling might take that one.
Really, I thought the women's hockey.
Women's hockey, we get back to them. We get back to them. We do. If we want to talk about women's hockey, they won best game when they defeated Canada
okay.
in the Winter
That-
Olympics. So like, I think that they were gonna give it to one of them. Like Shaun White doesn't exactly play games because he's. So I think like best game went to the women's
yes,
team when
yes.
they beat Canada for the championship. So they
Okay.
kind of still won it. They won one, so good for
Yeah.
them. Yeah, that was exciting. Best championship performance went to the Astros. Yeah, we're in LA and we're Dodger fans. At least I am. So I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm gonna plead the fifth.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I mean the Astros took home a couple awards. They took home best team as well, which I do not agree with that.
Once again, how do we come to these conclusions? Like, how am I gonna
so
say that?
the people vote. Like we vote. Like it's the us, the users.
What are y'all
No.
voting
Well,
for?
then.
Right, please tell me, because the best team should have either been the Cleveland Cavaliers,
They shouldn't have been
the
the best
Cleveland
They
Indians,
shouldn't have
or
been-
the Cleveland Browns.
I hate
period.
to break it to you,
They,
Cleveland
you
wasn't
know darn
nominated.
well it ain't gonna be the Browns.
Yes, it is. They coming back.
The other nominees were the Eagles, the U.S. women's hockey team, Notre Dame women's basketball, the Villanova Wildcats, who won the NCAA March Madness tournament, which I think they could have won.
They could have
Yeah.
won.
Golden State Warriors, and then Washington Capitals. I mean, they're all teams that won this year. You know what I mean? It's like who won the NBA championships, who won the NCAA
Give it to the
tournament.
kids. Give it to the NCAA.
Yeah, I feel like the Villanova Wildcats kind of deserve it. She made a really funny joke about the Wildcats. She was like, it's a Catholic school. They don't usually let them go all the way.
Ha.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, Danica, I see you.
I see you.
I see you. Yeah, that was definitely a big one. There was best play went to Endy's Arike, who got the second buzzer beater to win the NCAA double women's
Yeah,
national
title.
championship. I mean, buzzer beaters are always a
They're
big one
always
for
good,
me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but technically, the other team, the Philadelphia Eagles, were in the running for that. Theirs was technically a play. Hers was more of a shot.
That's true.
So I was like, are the Eagles gonna get it? Because they did that Philly special
you go.
play.
Look at you, sports anchor.
come
Look at
on.
you, sports
Come
anchor.
I have some exciting news for you. Best NFL player did go to Tom Brady. So he wasn't totally shafted.
Are you happy about that?
No, I was doing that for
Are
you.
you?
For you.
Best international men's soccer player, which feels like a really niche. I'm sorry.
Right.
Is that only because the World Cup was this year? Maybe.
I think so.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue that.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised
not
it wasn't someone from France though, because France literally just won. What was that guy's name? The 19-year-old guy on France who scored those two
the
goals at
soccer
the
player.
end.
I'm not sure.
He's 19. He's 19 years old, and he's like the talk of the town right now. I'm gonna mess up his name. Kylian Mbappe.
Mbappe. Like frappe, Mbappe.
Yeah, he is like the talk of the town. He basically won the World Cup for them. Thought maybe he could win, but don't even think he was
Was he there?
nominated.
Probably not.
No, it wasn't there. Oh my god, I can't believe Neymar was nominated. The guy who just flops all the time for Brazil. Anyway,
Speaking
not
of
here for
floppers.
that. Best MLB player, Mike Trout, LA Angels. Not surprising.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on my friend's fantasy team. Always really helps out in that department. Best driver, which I thought was funny. Another Bachelor reference. Ari Leyendik Jr. was there with his fiance because he is a
on with
race
that
car
name.
driver. He is a race car driver, so that was fun. Best NBA player.
Now you already know who it is. Yeah.
Now, see, I don't agree.
LeBron.
I don't.
Who was your favorite to?
Well, see, this is once again. Why are we giving it to someone who didn't? He didn't win.
He won enough.
He didn't win. Like
Next
if I'm
category.
If I'm gonna give it to the best NBA player for this year, I'm
Actually,
gonna look at the winning team.
No one from the winning team was nominated. It was
And that's a
James-
problem to
Yeah,
me.
that I agree.
Because
That's
they
problematic.
cheated.
How do
They
you
cheat.
Really?
They cheat. They put this whole little team
Sir.
together.
for the best.
Are you raising your hand?
Yes.
You're being
Did we not just give Tom Brady an award? Oh, okay.
Was I
Didn't
mad-
they
was
che-
I mad
didn't
about
they- didn't
that?
they cheat? Oh, okay.
Was I mad about that?
Why the team can't have some people on
LeBron
it?
played a fair season, and he did not get the outcome.
And
that
he did not
wanted.
win.
Yeah.
So he shouldn't be the
won.
best. He's
He
not
won
the
at
best.
life. He won
And
at
this
life.
year he's not the best. You say he won at life?
Yeah.
I love him as a person. I even love him as a player. However, this year he's not the best.
I bet you I'll see what
Somebody that has a trophy from this year, they're the best.
So Steph Curry.
Pick somebody on the other team.
No.
Steph was out for a lot of the season.
Durant, even
not Kevin Durant, not this year.
Klay Thompson. I would settle for Klay Thompson over
One of the
LeBron James.
Splash
Somebody
Brothers.
that won. That's all.
Okay, I hear
I'm
you.
glad you didn't vote.
I hear you. Best male golfer, Jordan Spieth, who also did not win the Masters this year, but we'll give it to him.
Well, why
Jordan
Tiger
Spieth.
won?
Yeah, Tiger was not nominated.
He
but,
shouldn't have been.
You know who won more awards than I thought was Chloe Kim. She won Best Female Olympian
she
as
cleaned
well,
up.
Yeah.
and she won Best Female Action Sports Athlete. Oh my gosh, I love that Best Jockey is a. I forgot about that.
Come on,
category.
best jockey. That's
Yeah, I
cute.
love that. Best bowler is also a category. I should start playing more sports. Maybe you'll see me on the carpet.
Let's start a
next year.
bowling team.
Yeah, we could start a bowling team. I'm here for that. But
I'm
yeah,
down.
those were a lot of the big awards, I would say. It was definitely like a jam-packed night. It's definitely the biggest night in sports. It's the only night of the year that there are no sports on. Did you know that?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't
know
even.
that.
Yeah.
It's the only night of the year that they don't play anything else on ESPN. They kind of give it to the Espys. There was like no baseball. It's baseball season. There were no baseball games last night. Like they were because they had the All-Star game the night before.
Gotcha.
So yeah, they didn't have any sports on last night. So you
Turn
know.
up.
Maybe it's a night that men and women together can watch an award show.
We can turn up at the ESPYs.
We can turn up for the ESPYs, yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. I think it was a really entertaining night. Again, a lot of really heavy moments. But I think all the heavy moments were important. Sometimes I feel like they're a little milked, or I think with a lot of award season this year, there was a lot of heavy conversation that felt sometimes out of place, or sometimes it just felt like too much. This felt an appropriate amount.
It was.
It was an appropriate amount, and I think that everything that was talked about was something that needed to be talked about.
Yes.
Totally.
It didn't feel like anybody who was. Sometimes when you hear someone talking about something, you're like, why are you the one talking about this? Like,
Right.
that's why it was nice for me to see like Allie or these coaches or the guy that coached with these coaches, like getting up there, like these are the people that were impacted. So it's important to hear from those people, not just like actors who maybe haven't experienced a lot of this stuff that are just like, talking to everyone else who has. Some of them have, obviously. Duh. We have Harvey Weinstein now going to jail, thank goodness. Hopefully. But a lot of them have experienced it, but I think it was nice to hear from a different community.
It was.
We heard it from, the acting community. We heard it a little bit from the music community, but I feel like we really needed to hear it from the sports
athletes,
community.
yeah.
They've been waiting all year,
You
patiently.
forgot one award, though.
Oh, I did.
I think
Which one?
James Harden won, I think, MVP of the year. Was it MVP of the year from the Houston Rockets? What did he win?
But that was basketball. That was on the basketball.
He didn't win. He won. He was
He won-
nominated for Best Male Outfit.
He won.
Best NBA player went to LeBron.
No, I think he won an MVP
But
of
that
the
was
year.
the basketball awards. That's
Oh,
what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
That wasn't.
That wasn't
Oh, that was the ESPY.
It was still ESPN, but just not.
Okay.
We'll give him some
That's
credit.
my bad.
But
Give
he
him a
did.
shout out.
But you're right.
Right,
But you're
shout
right.
out.
He did win. You're absolutely right.
Special
He beat
shout
LeBron
out.
in that category. You're
Special
absolutely
shout
right.
out to James Harden for winning an award show that we're not talking about.
It's like James Harden shouldn't have won
Wait.
last night though.
And
No.
congratulations to Lady Gaga for winning a Golden Globe 2 years ago.
The reason why that's on my mind is because I like to watch like thank you speeches, like
Oh, yeah.
his
I watched his
speeches.
thank you speech
Oh,
on
you did.
YouTube, and I watched like how everybody thank their mom, and he was a part of it, and so I don't know why I just tied it to the ESPYs.
Well, it's fine.
We'll take it.
It was a great moment, nonetheless.
It
We
was.
love a feel-good moment
I
with a
blame
guy
you.
who loves his mama, so we're here for it. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If they want to continue the conversation with you, because we obviously have plenty more we can talk about regarding James Harden and more.
And more.
Where can they follow you on social media?
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at IamJLamar.
And you can follow me on all social media platforms at the Tyler Tyson.
And you can follow me at Lauren T. Pacheco on Instagram and Twitter.
And you can follow me everywhere at Dani Golub. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time for our
yeah.
next special event show.
See you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.